the deficit. Lanes clearing up last, second tier turret down bottom for TNC. Now Onyx is just completely clearing and pushing all over the map. A wider approach, no turrets taken even for Onyx as of this point, and they just keep on going, pushing and reset everything. Rinse and repeat still.
Yeah, and what we've been seeing so far from the approaches of TNC Pro, by the way, Thunderbelt, interesting.
Yep.
Or the Fredrin, a little bit more damage, and the slows especially coming out. So Onika really maximized the slows that they can dish, because what we saw in the last engage, where King Kong and Keldra was the last two left, pushing back the members of TNC Pro team in terms of being offensive. The triple kill by Keldra came from the fact that King Kong and Keldra maximized their sustainability. Keldra had really great positioning. TNC blew everything that they had to just only get one kill.
He's on it again. Super Yoshi can't stand a chance as he's taken out in a blink of an eye. And that's what Escalera wants to do. At this point of the game, if they can get a numbers advantage, they're happy with it. Ryzen now, he's supposed to be a tank, gets taken down quite quickly. Again, another realm gonna come through. Penalty zone though, they can't deal with it. There's too much overload for TNC. Turret finally gonna go down. 4 members taken out of TNC with everyone still alive from Onyx.
Wow. The gold lead, 11.1k gold lead, concealed right onto the base of TNC. Two turrets left, base open.
Woo! Super Yoshi has to flicker out. Could this be the end of the game? They only have a few minions here. But TNC, despite the gold gap, will hold it together. They have timers on their side for now. But Lord, a few seconds away.
Yeah, be ready for TikTok goodie bags, because things are just going way too fast, don't you think, Ranmar?
Yeah, it's Onyx time. Time slowing down for TNC as Onyx time gets faster and faster. Ironically enough, they have the carry. So, 5-0-3. It's hard to reach it. They're throwing so many bodies for TNC Pro Team. This is the lineup built for a carry to shine. And they're doing so. And with TNC wanting to clump up together, they're just up against a lineup that counters them perfectly. Tarisla, Arlot, the Lilia alone, just outdrafted at this point, and Nobar Mpl Ph have just rolled with the punches, knowing the advantage that they have. TNC, the funny thing is, even a defense is going to be so difficult against everything Onyx can throw at them.
Yep, there's a Lord coming up, taken by Onyx, and they're clearing more of the wave. Will the items now be a great way to answer with defense? There's so much to take here in TNC. Like, how will they even penetrate the backline? How do you even catch Escalera, even Gem? There's so much problems right now being presented to TNC that they need to even catch one member from Onyx Philippines.
This is very difficult for TNC here. Conceal going to be used. Keep an eye on Escalera. Where's he going to use that final slash? They're going to deal with this Lord here. TNC tries to keep it together. Escalera going to jump in, not able to find the angle he's looking for. There's the final slash on Super. Yoshi gets taken down in an instant, but Escalera as well. There's the penalty zone to follow up. Ryzen falls as well. Base going to be worked on here. Onyx looking to end it with a massive lead. They take game 1.
And I know the series isn't over yet. TNC still has a chance to push this into game 3. But Onyx just look more and more impressive with each game, with each week as it passes in the MPL Philippines. What I see now in Onyx is a team similar to the cloth of Echo, AP Bren, if we go abroad, BTR, Onyx Esports, of just everyone in the team understanding their role very well, knowing where they need to be and when they go in at the right time.
They started with the story of the super team in season 13. They had their struggles, how they put his consistency with the Arlot, making so much plays, man.
Don't give this man the Arlot if you're the opposing team.
Either you steal it, take it, or just don't put it in the table.
Yeah, don't give it to Escalera anymore.
Escalera,
way too good.
Way too good. And he just really rounds us out. And you mentioned this, Renmar, too, that it's not a fluke anymore. Like, this is, as they were built up before, a super team, super family, whatever you want to call it, connection-wise, they're doing it.
They're on time, and they're online. And our MVP for this match is Keldra.
Well
Onyx
deserved.
Philippines.
Well deserved for the young man. I'm pretty sure, well, because of the performance they're of Escalera, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be saying, oh, Escalera deserves it, but then Kelra also deserves it as well. Again, we go back to the micro decision. First, we start in the lane. TNC Pro Team's main condition was the Nathan. So Kelra, with his experience in the gold lane of wanting to be the guy who wins the lane, and even before, many players have said Kelra is one of the most difficult to go up against in the gold lane. The adjustments, he goes for the common emblem set, so he gets a little bit more hybrid regen, so he doesn't run out of mana, so he can stay in lane longer. Duel better, was it the Master Assassin? Yes, it was. Can still dish out the damage since he was able to build a considerable lead up against the Nathan. He got more items, meaning that he can fight a little bit longer because the lineup of Onyx is built around him. This goes back to the old thought of you build a line up built for one. The classic 4 protect 1, and this lineup was built for Kelra to shine. If Kelra didn't shine here, then TNC would have had a much better time. But since Kelra, at some point, perfectly got that triple kill alongside King Kong, alongside the lineup built for him, with great peeling, great entries for Onyx, if Kelra got picked off like twice or thrice without the main damage dealer of Onyx available for them, TNC Pro Team. Yes, they were up against a similar lineup, wherein for TNC, they were built up for that Nathan. But in terms of the damage output, remember, Nathan is mostly magic. Build Radiant Armors for your team, and that's going to be good. And by the way, that's a support emblem? Is that a support emblem set on King Kong's Brethren? We're going to have to double check that. Distinct choice. There are some things that you could get there. Built up the Oracle, so he also wanted to be a Brethren that never went back. I think that's part of the Onyx mentality right now. Don't need to go back to base. Let's just regen in the map. And that makes sense, because if TNC had more room in the map to work around, especially playing the Barrets, playing well, that would have been much better for them. Onyx just didn't stop. They didn't, and they just kept going and going. What do you guys call them again? Escalera. Like, it's a race. Yeah, and that's how Escalera played. Like, lights out, away they go, and they just kept going. And you really got to appreciate how Onyx are playing right now. I pointed it out wherein for this squad, it's just they understand their...
I need to stop right there. I need to give emotion.
You have to give the emotion because
It's game number 2.
I never heard an ad readout with so much drama.
so much drama. Well, you heard the quote read earlier.
I'm just in
Oh,
the
yeah, you
mood.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have any more nuggets of wisdom for us?
Yeah. Maybe for TNT, maybe go back to where you're strong and not overthink it.
Go back to where you're strong. Don't overthink it. Guys, I gotta say, I mean, that match, game 1, was very one-sided there for Onyx Philippines, man. And when you look at it, when you're TNC, you're rooted. Let's say you're part of that Phoenix Army, and you're really hoping that they can adjust from this, just like we were even from the previous series with, say, Smart Omega. You have to be able to see the changes that can be made here. As we take a look at the draft recap from game 1, what are those changes for TNC?
We were hoping for the repeat. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, maybe it's just too much crowd control. And what do you think? Is it too much overthinking and not being utilized more of the things? Because, as you said, they were outdrafted.
Yeah.
Right away in game.
When you think about it, the lineup of TNC Pro Team, honestly, in any other scenario could have gone well. One of the biggest things that made them struggle is the fact that their gold lane was just completely stomped. Kelra played a much better game than Nomad. And TNC, because of their rotational importance, they did a lot of stuff in the middle of the map. They could have helped out Nomad more. But clearly, he was struggling against Kelra in lane.
Yeah. And as we look at our MPL Season 13 comics by Kapitan Tambay, you don't want to play with me.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm not that strong?
They don't want to play because you're a fanny main.
It's really funny how you made nice to read out the lines of the lighter complexion.
Yeah, was that planned?
A bit.
Okay. Shout out to
Kapitan Tambay. What's with the fanny main these days?
I feel like if you Honestly, I don't know. Maybe this is a Philippines thing, but I feel like everybody in the Philippines at one point was a Fanny main.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I wasn't. I was not. I was always a Gord main.
Yeah,
That's it.
You were the one getting chased by Fanny mains.
Yes.
Me too.
But I felt like some of the best Fanny players in the world came from here.
Yep.
Came from this region. There's
From
something
the
about
Philippines.
From the Philippines.
You know, we are.
And he was carrying the same. He's still carrying the same color.
Yeah. Speaking of, again, one of the most iconic
Hello
Fanny
juga,
players in the world
selamat
right
sore.
now. Kyrie, even though it's been a while since we've seen him rock out the Assassins in Indonesia, we are in a generation of MLBB esports fans who are surprised to hear that Kyrie is a Filipino.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there are comments that I would see going,
Really?
wait, why are you guys talking about Kyrie? Is Kyrie from the Philippines? Is Kyrie Filipino? So there's a completely new generation who completely missed out on the era of Kyrie being here in the Philippines, him being one of the
So,
prolific Filipino imports.
so they're assuming he's just Indonesian.
Yeah. Pretty
Well,
cool.
he's pretty good with Bahasa.
Somewhat.
Indonesian, right? Like he's,
Not like Yowie. Dude, Yowie has learned Bahasa quick.
I was surprised
Even
when I seen the
Stanford.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saya masih belajar bahasa Indonesia. Mohon maaf jika...
Whoa!
Whoa.
Even Redmar!
Slow down, bro.
Even Redmar! Have you been studying?
No.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Is that right?
Huge shout out to Indonesian watchers right
Terry
there.
Makasi, y'all.
Hey, I'm allowed to say it as American as possible.
Yeah.
Man, I love Indonesia. I've been enjoying
Yeah,
the
if
food.
you were Indonesian, that'd be your name, nice. Terry Makasi.
First name
M.
Terry.
First name Terry, last name
Makasi.
M.
Makasi.
I love me some mee goreng. Is that where you from there?
Bro, I love mee goreng.
Think so? Yeah?
Mee goreng and also the chili paste.
Sambal, bro.
Sambal, it's the best.
Sambal's the best.
And even the fried chicken.
Yeah.
We went from Kyrie to now the food.
The food. Again, huge shout outs to the Indonesian fans watching our stream right now. It's Onyx Philippines. Well, it's obviously we could be still talking about Kyrie because again,
Yeah.
these are the origin of the Filipino players who made the MLBB scene great
It's
globally.
actually, it's funny because yesterday we took a look at the, what do we call it, the eras of our
Eras.
Philippines.
Yeah, the tour.
And the tour that they had, and this was, really explaining some of that history there. So maybe some people learned some things yesterday, right? But the main thing here is, it's the adjustments that need to be made for TNC because I've always wanted to see TNC get back to that form that we saw them back in season 9.
Yeah.
Where they were something about things were just clicking. But when you look at that starting lineup from season 9, look what's happening now. I mean, even Escalera, right? He's on the other side this time.
Wearing a different color.
We're wearing a different color, playing against an old organization that he used to play for. But like his improvement from that period of time to where he is now is kind of going back to the whole point earlier where we're like, what makes a player grow? And so with Escalera back before being on TNC and now where he is now for Onyx Philippines, this guy has grown. And he's showing it even just with the Arla. So step one as we get to the draft here, I'd love to see TNC either take the Arla or at least ban it out. Don't give this to Escalera to make those plays that we've seen him do from yesterday to now, game one earlier.
up and watch the world burn.
There it is.
Heard it.
They heard.
Whoa.
Good, that's a good ban.
Right away. Exborg and Minotaur.
Yeah.
But onto the blue side of the priority. Hard to say again, 0% win rate for TNC.
I mean, they haven't had a lot of wins this season. Wait, so if they're 0% of the red side, that means the 2 games that they won against Blacklist International, they were on the blue side. Oh, wait. Sorry,
Yeah.
you said- Wait, was that 0% win rate on which side for TNC?
Blue.
Also, it was on the red side when they won up against Blacklist.
Yeah.
Blue side.
Cool,
Blue
cool.
side, blue
All
side.
right. So they take out the Fred. Oh, I like this. They respect the Arlot and then the Fredrin of Onyx PH. So in terms of the first picks, I think we're at past the point of teams solely just looking at the trade of Vexana Novaria.
Wow.
That's a new hero.
Vexaria.
He just made a great
The
combo
Vexaria
there.
combo.
That's a new hero.
So if I'm see here, I actually wouldn't think about picking up the Novar. I was actually thinking the first pick the Baksha, but then Onika I think read into it. So if you're gonna first pick, even though the Novaria information would be good, but Tilda finally being available for them could be a great pickup with Super Yoshi. They want to be the ones that set the pace. With how Onyx play, I feel like the best way to counter the Escalera playstyle is pressure him into thinking about protecting his jungle instead of him being the one setting the tempo here. But because of the trade-off, Onyx will get the Nolan, and they're going to be getting the Barret. So it's a Barret's EXP lane, but it's Onyx. I'm not surprised if they're thinking, hey guys, what if we roam or mid this?
Oh yeah, that is still a flex option because
We've seen mid lane Barrets already from Xord and Omega, and that almost worked.
yeah, this dinosaur is just so effective in all ways.
I also just love the fact that they got Nolan this time because, you know, this is, we were talking about it even going into the series. We won, like King Kong's play style was known for the being a great assassin and everything else. Now that he gets to Nolan, we know that there's a struggle too when Nolan is actually picked up for some teams, regardless of the region. It's almost in a way like, even when we talk about Fanny, where you really have to be able to support that, getting the resources, getting the farm that you need. But with a Nolan, you have a little more wiggle room, I would say. But again, going against this, now the carry and CC are locked in.
Yeah, quickly, right away.
Oh, I thought I thought they'd go wrong.
Okay.
I was gonna say I was looking at you, trying to see what motion you were doing.
Yeah, I was excited. I was like, oh, that's a Roger.
Red Rumors is so excited about that. Like Nathan, well, Cameron's a good starting with the Nathan as well.
You played this yesterday, I believe. Wait, did Kelmer play this yesterday?
Nathan.
I believe he. So Nate, that's what I'm saying. Nathan, in general, is one of those heroes
Yeah.
that does work out. And yeah, Kelra did play it yesterday, and it just took some time. It just took some time to build up.
It's 2 wins for Onyx for that Nathan. So it's already tried and tested. What makes sense now? High burst, so they have someone to bridge it into the mid game for the Nathan. So part of me is kind of hoping that we actually see this Barrets in the mid.
You're hoping for it.
Yeah, because you get really fast wave clear. You get a very annoying Nolan and Barret that if you played well, you get to provide a lot of space for the Nathan. They just need to pair it up with a good roamer. Escalera might end up with something more utility-minded. What if he actually considers the Rafaela?
Going all full sustain and
Yeah,
movement speed.
they might be considering a strat here that was showed by Omega, which was the Rafaela.
Because again, they're going to be up against a carry in a mid to late game answer, and they want to put pressure right on from then on. So if that's the answer, if the Rafaela, Barretts, and also Nolan could be the way to just quickly move things around the map, that's one way just to put pressure on every lanes.
Yeah, and they take away the Grok of Escalera too. I was thinking that could have been a great Grok pickup here for Onyx, but TNT have read into that. So they're forcing Onyx to show their hand of, okay, what potentially weird thing are you thinking of here?
Make friends with Nana?
No, okay.
No mid Barretts.
Are they cooking up something weird?
What?
Is the curveball the last pick? I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the face value of this. You're kind of just assuming, right? Barrett's going into that XP lane. You got the Nana now here. Nathan and Nolan.
Yes!
Wow.
My queen! Finally!
Aurora!
There is a reason though why she kind of fell out of the meta, but it's good to see her.
Dude, I gotta say, this is probably one of the best hero portraits right here.
Yeah.
This Aurora one.
Really good.
It's really great.
Oh!
Wow, a debut pick, and TNC is really, really getting on this confident choice for Aurora. Mid lane up against Anana. Huge coverage by the AoE ultimate as well.
Oh, are they gonna go to Rizla? They need something tanky here. Export. Mark this junk. Okay. Oh yeah, excuse me, the CC. So what's the rope here for Eska?
Smell it, good powder in the morning.
Oh my goodness, we forgot about.
Debut picks, boys. Franco.
We forgot about. He's a Viking. I was gonna say the pirate. He's the Viking.
The Viking of the Marathon.
Huh.
Viking.
I'm actually leaning a little bit more towards TNC.
I miss the days when we would hold our breath, waiting for a hook to land.
Yeah.
Now we
too.
can see it.
And we've been seeing it from Ben Things back then.
Yeah, I'll never forget there was
Former teammate.
There was a time I counted hooks, and then people were mad at me for counting hooks because I didn't count people for hooks in season 7. It was season 9.
Season 9.
It was season 9. I counted hooks of a player. Then they told me, "Why didn't you do this back in season 7?" I'm sorry, I didn't think of it.
Okay, you want to do it again?
No, it's
Okay.
really tiring to count hooks. You know, it's really tiring.
But it's really a fun game to watch when there is a Franco, because
Yeah.
we've been waiting to see this kind of like a tempo-based momentum setup that could come from a different composition. And we're seeing the Apex Aurora. For the first time, we're gonna see it again. No, first time. Yeah, and I'm excited to see this.
Whoa, look at that.
Four-man leash. Rush.
Look at this rush. Not to mention a great skin from Ryzen. Had to grab that while you could.
Oh, I have that.
If Escalera somehow hooks this, no way.
Oh! Escalera! Oh my god! He just stopped that whole plan. And meanwhile, King Kong gets the purple. What a player!
He's probably saying on his mind, hey, Coach Ben thinks I know you've been doing this on your TikToks. Is this how you do your reset if you're doing or using the Franco? Well, I can still do it.
Bro, I can't believe my casters cursed that.
You called it.
I don't think he would. Flicker, hook, that's a play.
Called it, Redmar.
Yeah.
Right on point.
Yeah, and what that does is, again, that completely messes up the early rotation here of TNC Pro Team.
Yeah.
So that encourages them to pull off a more of a risky play at some point later on. Now, King Kong's going to reach level 4 first. The Martis is grasping at straws. With that round, the level lead. See, only level 2. He's only about to hit level 3. So TNC, for the first few rotations, are going to be occupied with just making sure that Ryzen gets his farm and gets to level 4.
Wow, there's so much that could happen from the two composition of TNC and Onyx Philippines. Go ahead, comment down, start a discussion to our online viewers right now in the English stream. What do you think of this? Comment down. Aurora and Franco that showed up. Will the composition work?
I think it's going to be a big testament for once we get to these objectives.
Yeah.
Even with this turtle, TNC doing a pretty good job at actually controlling this part for now. So for Onyx Philippines, how do they deal with this again? We don't even have a contestion really. Ryzen gonna get that first turtle. So even given how that whole early exchange went, first turtle in the hands of TNC.
Yeah, and it's boning from the fact that Onyx PH understand the type of lineup that they're up against. They have the Martis.
Gem gonna eat up the target right here. He's in trouble. Look at the burst damage from King Kong, but Head still able to survive even with that vengeance. So Onyx Philippines will not be able to find the kill they're looking for.
This is what I hate about going up against an XP lane CC. When she has the vengeance, completely sustaining back with her lifesteal, she just lives and just smiles with his yo-yo. Her yo-yo.
Okay.
Yeah, TNC Onyx PH understand the lineup of TNC have a lot of zoning. Your Franco is good. Yes, you have the hooks. Yes, you have the bite. But you have two big ultimates that sort of force you to play around those two ultimates. They'll be standing there and leaving themselves susceptible to just getting thrown all the AoE damage that TNC can dish out with that Aurora on their side.
I always wondered, especially when Aurora got that revamp through, I was wondering when she would pop up in the competitive play mechanic with having even that pass, you know, basically mirroring the Nana across from you.
Yeah.
You still kind of have to work through that for both teams. Now, burst potential for Monica is pretty good. There's the Bloody Hunt with the focus mark. Ryzen already going to be taken out. Glacier there as well, but it's not enough as Ryzen falls for TNC. And that's another thing we have to take note of. Escalera rolling with a focusing mark helps. This is what we saw from Franco before in seasons past.
Yeah.
Where sometimes it's just a lockdown or the iron hook landing, and then you almost get a big, nice burst of damage.
I think that's the thing that you need to look out for. Look at that. 1v1 up top, Nomad and Kelra. Also half HP, and they're still doing the showdown.
From above. Secured by Ryzen, so no secure by King Kong. But Retribution was actually more up there. Elsewhere,